Now I've got the flip and fold card here from the range. Now this one's a square one. Now in this particular download, you're going to get 6 sheets, but in each of those sheets, you've got various options. I'm going to show you one technique of how to use these templates, but don't forget, have a look at all the different range as well. You've got squares, rectangles, rounds, heart shapes, lots of different things. But in each of those, you'll find a video that gives you lots of different techniques. And if you just keep following those, you'll find out that there's so much you can do with these templates. It's not just a template, draw around it, and that's it. You can choose the kind of template that you want and the various things you can do with it. I'm just going to show you another technique now, but don't forget you can keep having a look at the other ones too. So this is the square download template. So what you're going to get, well, you're getting 6 sheets altogether in 6 sizes. I'm just going to show you these and then we can move on and you can see exactly how I'm going to do it. So basically there is the largest size that we've got. This is an A4 size piece of paper and you've got these, this is your basic square and you've got the leg on here as well. That dotted line is where the crease will be. You'll be making 2 of those every time you make a card. You've also got all the different layers here that you can cut out and use in different ways. I'm going to show you another way today. Then you've got the different size. There's the next size down. So if you want slightly smaller cards, smaller there. Then you've got that size. That's the size we're going to be using. That's size 4 in this set. And then you've also got 5 down to 6, and you can make much smaller cards here as well. That is the actual size of the card. They all fall flat and they're very simple and easy to make. And once you've got these templates, you can print them off anytime you want. I just put them onto basic photocopying paper. It's fine. If it's something, you can use them for as long as you look after them. But then if something, you lose one, or the dog eats one, or the cat runs off with one, just print another one off. Fine, no problem. So here's the main one that I've got here. Now you can make a main template from this one, which I have done. There's the main size. And as you can see here, I drew round and made this template. And then I also took a pencil line and just did a little pencil line exactly on this. So I can use this time and time and time again. From that, all these center bits here, I also cut out all the different squares, and I can use those in many, many different ways. Those are the 2 that we're going to use in this demonstration, but there you can see all the extra bits there that I can use in various connotations as well. And I just did a little pencil mark on each one. I did 1 to 6. It just reminds me, before you cut it out, write 1 to 6 on, if you're doing this technique, because then it shows you also which is the top and which is the bottom. So the top of each of the templates will be where the number is, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc., etc. Now, I've cut out my templates. So first thing I'm going to do is I've made my template here that I can use time and time again. And all I have to do is take a piece of card, which is, let me just get a piece of card for you, Chucks. Who are you looking at? Anyway, let me get some card. I was ready. Preparation. H. Right. So how I would do this is just take my template, put it onto my piece of card. Now, when you put it onto your piece of card, you don't want to waste any. So you put that right up to the edge there, so you don't have to cut or mark here. And same down at the bottom, and then just press it down. A little bit of masking tape, it's in position. Then just take a pencil, and all you've got to do is that bit there, and then do this bit here. It doesn't matter about the little gap there. You're going to just cut along there and just draw around it. And you can do that with all the bits and pieces. I'm doing this on red just to show you, see how you can do it. So there is my basic design. You need to cut 2 of those out, which I've done here. Let me show you these. So there you go, there's 2 there. Now the one that's got the crease in, you see that's, I've already creased that one. So all you would do is put that onto there and you would just mark it either end and then just take your ruler, score along there with a blunt instrument and fold that over so you get that effect. So I'm taking that to one side. So let's make this up first. Now, if you can imagine it, that what's going to happen is that goes that way and that goes that way. Now the square is perfectly over the top. So when that folds over, that becomes the leg of the card. So let's do that. I'm going to use a little bit of double-sided tape on the back of this. And you know what I'm like with double-sided tape. Okay, it sticks down, but when I come to pull it off, the whole thing comes off normally. So let's stick that down on there. And then these little flaps are just going to peel over. You can, if you're feeling bold, take them off straight away. But if you're feeling like I'm going to make a mess first time I stick it down, then just peel these back a little bit and just press that down. Now I'm going to, again, don't forget the leg is this side, so they fit perfectly. So I'm just going to position that exactly where it should be. But before I stick it down though, just make sure it is absolutely right. That's there like that. That's going to fold over there like that, so that works fine. So fold that over and take your first tab off and just press that down. Fold it the other way. You've got the backing paper here sticking out. Pull that off and that sticks down perfectly. Then you've got the card. Just crease that down. If you want, use a boning tool or just the back of an old biro or something like that. Press that down so you've got a really good crease. And then you've got the basic card like that. That you can decorate, you can put your decoupage on that, you can do your matte and layering, you could turn these into different layers, all sorts of different things. But what I'm going to do with it is take the inside of the card, these lined bits here, these lined ones here, and cut out my templates like I showed you. And now all I'm going to do is take these off. These are the two that I used. And that just comes off there. And I say, this is how I keep them, this is how I store them, and just put them in a loose leaf file. Once you've cut it out, leave your little bits of masking tape on, just stick it down to a piece of paper. It keeps them neat, it keeps them tidy, and they're ready to use every time. So if I want to do this again, I would position this right into the corner, like that, stick that down and stick there. So it's not going to go anywhere. Look, it's a little bit flimsy because it's paper, but all you do is hold it down. It's not the end of the world. And then just take a pencil again, if I can find it. And then all again, you're just doing if you wanted to make a matte and layer, you just do the outside, cut it out. But I want to make a frame, so I'm going down the inside, and I'm also going down the outside as well. I say just pencil draw that out, and then you're going to cut it out. I've done this in pink this time, and there's your pink frame ready to use. And I've also got another frame, a larger one there to go on there. And I've also cut out a centre bit that I'm going to use on the card. This is just another way. So imagine all that's been done now. You didn't need to sit and see me doing all that. So I've got my card. There's my card. And you can see now you can play around. That's going to frame it. Now that would be a nice card on its own. So it's taken the card, but I've put a frame on there, and that frames the card nicely. So you could do that. You could just take that off. You could just do a little frame in the center. That's another way of using it. You might just want to do a matte and layer. I mean, that would make quite a nice, interesting thing. You could have something very oriental based on that one. But I'm going to use all the different layers and position these. I'm going to use them like that. So it gives a nice 3D effect on the frame. But you can even do something different as well. You might want to do that. Stick it down like that. So you've got, again, another different geometric shape. You could, am I baffling you with science? You could, if you wanted, even do it that way. See what I'm doing here? So I've got that going all the way around. I've got this loose edges here. Then I'll put that one in like that side. And then I can do it like that. It's entirely up to you. Just by using the same basic technique, you can change the look of your card. And then all you'd have to do is stick on your embellishment there, your peel off. I'm just giving you the basics of how then you can take it on and decorate it and turn it into a Christmas card, an anniversary card, a birthday card, or whatever you want. So I'm just going to do the basic one, which I showed you. So I'm just taking a glue pen. I find with these thin stripped frames, I just like to use a little bit of glue pen on it and just go along there. And don't forget, if you're using a two-way glue pen, if you let this dry, you can actually take it off, but I want it on permanently. So that's there, that's my first one going on. Try and position that exactly where you want it before you stick it down. And that's stuck down there, and then just stick it down. There's my first layer on this card, and it's been nicely framed up there like that. And you've got the base. Now I'm going to take the next layer. Again, just a little bit of glue. And just go around the edge. You could use double-sided tape if you want to, but I find In my case, I like the glue pens, and it's easy to position the glue exactly where you want it. And as you can see here, when I drew this particular one out, I've actually left some pencil lines on here, but all you've got to do is take an eraser or a rubber and just rub those up. But you can see that's nice. There's a nice base for your card. It's got a different card. It's going to stand up. It's going to go flat, so it'll go into an envelope, but you've got a nice frame around the edge there. And what I'm going to do, though, is just change it even more. I'm going to put a solid matten layer in the center there, and again, just a little bit of glue. And there's my card ready to decorate in any way that I want. So from that one template, I've created that effect, but you saw all the different options that you can do with that card. Now, all you've got to make a decision on is what template set you want to go with. Every set you go with in these flip cards, flip and fold, they're flipping fold cards, they are. All you've got to do is get them, but with every set there's a different video giving you a different technique, and you'll soon realise after you've seen the 12th, 14th, 15th, and we will be adding all the time, different techniques, different add-ons. We've got loads of add-ons as well that you can look at. They may not be there yet, or they may be there already, but you can put a book on there. You can do all sorts of different things on there, and those templates are being added all the time. There'll be different shapes, etc., etc. So if you want to make a beautiful square flip and fold card, that's the one for you.